Oh, hey, Potter. What are you eating?
Hey, I'm eating Spam soft tofu Korean soup.
Ooh, looks delicious. Aside from home cooking, what's the best food in Dallas?
Most people will say barbecue, but I will say the Tex-Mex. Love Mexican food.
So, what was it like for a young Potter growing up in Dallas?
I hated growing up in Dallas. I hated growing up in Dallas. It wasn't until many years later when I went back to Texas where I realized this is home and I started appreciating Texas, and now I love it, but hated growing up in Texas.
When you were young, who did you look up to the most in life?
Definitely my brother, definitely my dad. I was always chasing my brother all my life.
What is the best piece of advice you received from them?
Something about doing your job. I still use that to this day with my players, and that's just my coaching style, is making sure everyone understands that there's only so much you can control, but focus on what you can control.
What advice would you give to your younger self?
To fail more. To go out there, fail more, try it, fail, learn, and go again.
So when it comes to video games, what is your earliest memory that you have?
Definitely Dungeon Keeper. It was a video game that randomly, somehow or another, we bought it. I had no idea how to play it, anything about it, but immediately I was addicted. I became obsessed with that game, and that was my first memory of becoming addicted to video games.
When did you know you wanted to be a pro gamer?
I knew I wanted to be a pro gamer the very second I found out that that was even a thing. When I found out that people were actually getting paid with peripherals and with trips to go to LANs, I knew that's what I wanted to do.
Could you explain what your first LAN experience was like?
My first LAN experience was, I wasn't supposed to be there. My parents didn't let me go, but I snuck out with my friends, and we drove from Tulsa to Dallas. It was about a 4-hour drive. And yeah, I remember sneaking out and somehow or another making that happen.
What is something people may not know about playing on stage that you wish they knew?
I wish I could better describe like that, the satisfaction or like that rewarding feeling that you get once you kind of see all your work pay off in the end. But it's pretty incredible.
How did your competitive appetite change or not change after winning the championship?
After winning championships, I thought that I would be content and I thought I would be satisfied, but it just made me even more obsessed. It made me even more greedy, and it made me want to win more and more.
What do you hope the fans remember about your tenure in Counter-Strike?
I hope the fans remember me in CS for just trying my hardest. And putting competition above everything else.
What was it like going from a career in CS to then starting in Valorant?
Let's go in here. Actually, let's not go in here. Let's not go in this one. What was that?
What was it like going from a career in CS to starting in Valorant?
It was exciting. I mean, CS was old. It had been out for a long time, and by the time Valorant came out, it was so fresh, it was so exciting. And actually a lot of my friends that I played CS with, grew up playing CS with, they all swapped over to Valorant as well. I think it was just the perfect timing. And yeah, it was just so exciting as well.
Speaking of Valorant, is there a Valorant agent you would want to spend the day with if you could?
I would love to spend a day with Omen. I think being able to TP around everywhere with him, he could take me to wherever I want to go in an instant. We'll just ult over there. So probably Omen. Okay, we can't look at this. We can look at this. Twitch Prime. Subscribe.
If you could pick any Valorant map to live in, which would it be?
A Valorant map I would want to live in. I'd want to live on Bind. I mean, I guess if I have Omen as my homie, we could figure out how the TPs work on Bind and then figure out how Omen's abilities work and then how to replicate it, and then we'll just start cooking.
Did you notice a mindset shift going from player to coach?
I definitely noticed a shift in mindset. I think, when you're playing, you're definitely tunnel visioned. It's definitely something I noticed even as an older competitor. I thought, with this sort of experience, I would be able to see everything coming my way. But it wasn't until I actually took a step back and was able to really see the whole picture, I think.
Before EG made franchising, the OG squad lived and competed out of EG's offices in Seattle. Is there a specific memory you look back on fondly now?
Oh, it wasn't even that long ago, but it does feel like lifetimes ago. Everyone felt so young then. My players, it was kind of seeing everything for the first time again through their eyes, stepping into an official office, seeing our brand new PCs, getting our jerseys for the first time, and meeting everyone on the staff side of EG. It was really official. And it was, it motivated us really hard. We practiced for that entire month harder than we practiced before that. So it was a nice official welcoming kind of deal.
Do you remember the moment you learned EG had made franchising and what you were feeling in that moment?
I remember feeling relief. We worked so hard to get to that point where I guess the application process was even where we felt like we even had a chance. Being able to qualify twice through the open process was exciting. I remember after the first time we qualified, it was again we kept working harder and harder and just realizing that we could actually do it. So being able to make it into franchising was everything for us.
What was one prediction you had at the beginning of the 2023 season that ended up being true by the end of Champions?
I always believed that my players would be best in slot, but it's one of those things that you say to motivate and to give goals for each other, like, hey, you need to work on being best in slot, and at the end it'll all come together. But I believed, especially for like someone like Jaw, unproven. No one would have thought to put Jaw in their top 3 list of duelists at the beginning of last year. And by the end of it, he was number 1 on everyone's list, especially for his Raze play and things like this. So that was really cool to see the growth individually and the growth of our team.
The broadcast is really nice to fans and lets us see the coaches backstage. How is that version of Potter that the fans see different from Potter just hanging out?
It's pretty much the same, I would say. I think I definitely am more laid back when the cameras aren't around. I'm not a camera person. I gotta admit, I'm not a camera person, even though it's been like over a decade at this point. But yeah, I would say I'm a little bit more laid back when the cameras aren't around.
Overall, what was your favorite moment from Champs 2023?
My favorite moment from Champs, besides winning the whole thing, it had to have been the semifinals, that best of 5 versus Loud. The 2-0 in Tokyo could have been, we caught Loud off guard type of deal, but this best of 5 was the real testament. I've always looked up to Loud, I've always looked up to Sadak. And so being able to beat them in the 5th, especially after it was almost looking like a reverse sweep, but being able to beat them in the 5th map handedly was all the confidence we needed going into the grand finals.
What about your favorite moment from the Champs after party?
The Champs after party, I actually didn't end up going to the Champs after party. Don't judge me too harshly, but after matches, I'm so obsessed that I have to go back and I have to rewatch the whole thing. So after Champs, after the grand finals, I ended up going back to my hotel room, ordering room service, and rewatching and reliving every moment.
What is a memory you hope to make in 2024 alongside this new roster?
The memory I hope to make is winning together. I mean, winning together and making it to an international event together. I think with this group of guys, if we're able to qualify, we'll be able to figure it out as we go, and we'll even surprise ourselves when we make it there.
Would you say your life has already been different than what you imagined?
My life has been so different than what I imagined. Definitely 15-year-old me who was excited about receiving a headset and a mouse pad could have never imagined that I would be in esports full time. And I still can't believe it. It's definitely, it's just not something I grew up thinking that I would be doing. So every day it's a dream come true, for sure.
How would you like to be remembered?
I would like to be remembered for just being a gamer, and just loving video games, and also being very competitive at the same time.
Thanks so much, Potter. This was lots of fun. Good luck in stage 1.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.